Hold on.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Morning, everyone. Oh, smokes. We got new chairs. We got new chairs?
No.
Did we?
Well, damn, I don't know.
No, not yet.
No, it's just sitting
I
up
don't like the camera angle, just saying.
high.
Okay. Let me.
Good morning, Miss Tammy. How are you this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm
All
great,
right.
thank you.
I'll
You're
make
up.
a motion to approve the March 30th regular meeting minutes.
Second.
Roll call?
Yes.
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 All right, Tammy, you're on. Now you're on. Really.
For real this time.
For real.
Sorry.
So wanted to say thank you again for you guys taking time out of your busy schedules to do and meet with the Kent State kids interviews.
They were great.
Hopefully
It was
that
a great
went well
time.
for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great time.
Yeah, good. Very good. So their project is coming to an end here, so we should see something, but we'll end up getting all the video from all of your interviews and stuff, and hopefully be able to do some nice creative things for you guys.
Excellent. That's perfect. They were good kids, and they had great questions, and
Yeah.
so it was
Yeah,
pretty cool.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. I'm just bringing officially to the table the floating holiday. I did have my report, so I didn't have it in my folder last week, so I brought it with me this time. If we had any other questions about the departments that participated to all that. So there's 32 departments total, and 29 out of the 32 participated last year. Yep.
It's put a pretty good record.
Yes.
I still don't like it, but
I know. I know.
Okay, should I start reading this paragraph?
please,
Sure.
they've got a lot for you to read today. So speed
know.
reading, I hear.
My throat's sore. Couldn't Mr. Tunlin take over now?
Here's a lozenger. Go.
Notwithstanding, I'll make a motion, notwithstanding, as an exception to section 23D1 of the Personnel Policy Manual, each Commissioner's Department Director is authorized to grant 8 hours of paid administrative leave to full-time employees and 4 hours of paid administrative leave to part-time employees to be requested and used by the last pay period of December 2023 in honor of Employee Appreciation Day of 2023. The Employee Appreciation Day may be used as one floating day of paid leave on a date requested by the employee and approved at the discretion of the department director. Employee Appreciation Floating Day of paid administrative leave offered hereunder is waived if not used and that cannot result in overtime. Elected officials are encouraged to join in the celebrating of county employees by approving the same floating day of paid administrative leave. Employees must be employed by April 1st, 2023 in order to receive the Employee Appreciation Floating Day.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Abstain. Thank you.
And then I do know that something was brought by the prosecutor, so I just added this into there. That's kind of why it's on there.
Oh, okay.
For their new victim advocate position. So
Okay.
Just as unofficial.
Yeah, we talked last week on that. Okay. I'll make a motion. The Board of Commissioners agrees to authorize the external posting of a full-time victim advocate for Portage County Prosecutor Office.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
In accordance with Section 305.30 of the Ohio Revised Code and this Board's Resolution 21-0396, Part 9I, the Board of Commissioners acknowledges and approves the County Administrator's approval to authorize the hire of Victor Gravenstein, wastewater treatment plant operator and training, Portage County Water Resource Department. The tentative start date is Monday, April 10th, 2023. The Board of Commissioners agrees that this hire is contingent upon the applicant passing the required pre-employment screenings.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to authorize the hire of Eric Lawrence, wastewater treatment plant operator in training, Portage County Water Resource Department. The tentative start date is Monday, April 10th, 2023. The Board of Commissioners agrees that this hire is contingent upon the applicant passing the required pre-employment screenings.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to authorize to promote Dustin Keismore to wastewater chief operator, Portage County Water Resource Department. The tentative start date is Monday, April 3rd, 2023.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to authorize the 7-day internal posting of bargaining position for wastewater treatment plant operator for the Portage County Water Resource Department with an external posting if no internal appointment is made.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
Okay, I will make a motion to authorize to retain a Joseph Patucci as deputy apiary for Portage County Board of Commissioners. His appointment will serve throughout the year of 2023.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank
Thanks.
you.
Sue, you're here. We do you now.
All right.
You're okay?
Yep, it shouldn't take but a minute. Kelly Jo just wanted me to let you know that for Wear Blue next week, your shirts are on order and they'll be here for you.
That's Wednesday?
Yes, Wednesday the 12th.
Oh, you know what? Oh, well, never mind. I got it.
Okay.
Great.
All right, so my first resolution is just my regular shared resolution from child welfare to public assistance. Yeah.
Okay, I'll make a motion to transfer from Fund 1415, Child Welfare Special Levy Fund, to Fund 1410, Public Assistance Fund.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to transfer from Fund 1413, WIA Fund, to Fund 1410, Public Assistance Fund.
Roll. Wait, yep.
Second.
Second. Roll call.
He distracted me.
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes. Thank you,
All right.
Sue.
Thanks.
Thank you for being here. Lorsh.
Okay. Oh, here's Shannon. Oh, and here's Jackie.
Okay.
Woohoo.
Jackie, we're to
She can go next.
We're in the next. Yes, please.
We weren't sitting in here at the time, sorry.
That's right. No. No, somebody else is missing. You're up, Miss Jackie.
Okay, well, I have a discussion item today that I just wanted to bring a just high-level review to the board about the budget. So as the board knows, we appropriated all the certification this year, and because of the building projects, we had transferred quite a lot of that out, and we had a reserve of about $1.1 million. But we've had several necessary expenses, and one fairly large unforeseen expense. So now that balance is down to about $250,000. So to caveat this also, we do have a rainy day fund. It's another fund to the tune of about $1.8 million that we can tap into if necessary. But my recommendation is that we just put spending on hold as much as possible unless it's an
Absolutely.
immediate need.
Absolutely. No, we're gonna leave. Yeah, let's leave that where it's at.
Because
right
we just completed our first quarter, so this is
Right.
not.
Right.
Yeah, we're gonna have to put the brakes on. Okay.
now. Yep. Yeah. we're gonna
So
leave it
that
there.
just so that I guess that would be my recommendation right now. Is it
That is. What could you tell us what was a huge expense or what came about that?
so the one larger unforeseen expense or that I didn't foresee was how much we were going to support the Victims of Crime Assistance grant this year. So that was to
That's
the
the
tune-
prosecutors.
That's the prosecutor's state grant.
It
That-
keeps getting reduced every year.
Yeah, so we're supporting it more and more. So I'll be aware of that from now on. But the total was about $370,000 that we supported.
That we didn't expect to have.
Correct. So normally, I mean, we match it, we support it, but this was significantly more than we normally do.
It was under 200 before, wasn't it? Like
Yes.
150, 100
Mhm.
somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so there was that, and so the fact that the reserve fund was smaller than normal, and then we had this additional expense, plus there have been, just additional building project costs, and we supported the airport for a lot of, what they need, but, I mean, that was about $100,000, but, it kind of all culminated
Mhm.
at one time, so.
Yeah. So we have about 1.8 in the rainy day fund, and then you said we have about another 200 left over from,
250,000, it's just in reserve, it's in a reserve account in general fund.
so that's not a lot for a county our size. Okay.
Right.
Any questions,
No, sir.
anything else? Okay, let's move on.
Okay, in accordance with section 305.30K of the Ohio Revised Code and this board's resolution 21-0396 and the board's resolution 21-0878, the Board of Commissioner acknowledges and approves the county administrator's approval to. I'll make a motion to direct the auditor's office to pay process the March 29th, 2023 bills, ACH payments, wires, journal vouchers, and then and nows as applicable, contingent upon the verification of the reports as presented by the county auditor and reviewed by the Department of Budget and Financial Management.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Yes.
Kelly?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to process the March 29th, 2023 budget amendments as reviewed and recommended by the Department of Budget and Financial Management.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to transfer from Fund 0001, General Fund, to Fund 1410, Public Assistance Fund.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to transfer from Fund 8300, Solid Waste General Administration, to Fund 8355, SWOWDA Loan 17.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to transfer from Fund 1501, American Rescue Plan, to Fund 5200, Portage County Sewer General Administration.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
All
Okay.
right.
Thank you, Jackie. Good morning.
Good morning. Hi, Shannon. Hi, did you get a new shirt?
I did.
Your hair's in the way.
Your hair's in the way.
Oh, there you go.
Look at that. Fancy pants.
I'm very fancy.
fancy.
So I have project updates.
Yay.
Yes.
Look at our new team member, Sam. Good thing Amy has a wider desk over there now, huh?
So I'm gonna skip down to the auditor's renovation. I met with Matt Kelly Friday, and he's doing quite an intensive renovation that he wants to have done. He wants to take out some walls, bathrooms, like, you know, redo the bathroom configuration and kitchen, stuff like that. But with that, I'm gonna need an architect to do, because it's gonna be well over the $50,000 when you're taking down walls and stuff. So with that,
Well,
we don't have any money.
Correct. And that'll be just like our bathrooms up here. All
Correct.
that stuff's going to go on hold for a while.
It
Right.
So we can start the planning process, but
Well, so the planning process is I'd have to pay an architect.
yeah.
So,
So
and when we do hire this architect, I'd like to use the same architect for this floor,
absolutely.
for the bathrooms and the kitchen.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna say hold for right
Hold.
now, even with the architect, correct? Because I don't,
Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely. Yep.
Jackie will be happy with that.
and
No
our
more money.
7th floor renovation too.
Yeah. And I'll just put a hold by that, and we'll just leave it on here though. Which I'll skip down to the ceiling tiles and the paint grid on the first floor. Maintenance is gonna do that.
Okay.
Oh, good.
So they're just gonna do the eyesore stuff.
Did we just have another little water leak
Another one?
Uh-huh.
We did last week.
last week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
In the main lobby.
Yeah, for the heating pipe.
I just happened to walk
It
in
was
there.
the boiler
They said
pipe.
leak.
The boiler pipe. They caught it ahead of time.
Yeah.
Thank goodness that didn't let loose.
Okay.
And then tuck point on the corners and then the main entrance. I'm getting a quote on that. And then we're also getting a quote on doors and staining of all of the doors down the corridor.
And all those doors will be solid core.
They have to be
Yeah,
because
Fire.
if you're having, well, it's not just even that. It's like if you're having a
Privacy.
meeting, you can hear everything through everything.
And
So
Shannon,
we're replacing 5 of the doors.
Do we have funding already?
Yes, it's coming out of my budget.
Okay.
It's coming out of the
So
maintenance
that's
project
okay.
expense.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we're okay with that one.
Okay.
The old engineer site.
Ugh.
Hey, no, it's good.
Oh,
It's good.
okay.
So we got approval of tier 2, so we can move forward to the next step. And that is to complete the excavation to remove the impacted soil at 2 of the locations and 1 monitoring well. And then they're gonna replace the well to put in a new soil. With that comes money.
How much soil are we removing? They give you an idea?
They did not give me an idea.
How
He
deep?
said they said it's not actually that much of the soil. I can get more details on it if you'd
I
like
mean,
me
kind
to.
of details of,
Yeah.
like, are they moving 1,000 yards or?
Well, it's 40. The cost of this will be $46,000. But after this,
Mhm.
and it gets approved by Buster, we're done.
Oh, wonderful.
So this is all because of Buster. But with that, I'm working with Jackie on that for the budgeting of that funding because I don't have that funding.
Yeah.
So
No, the 46,000?
Yeah.
And that's before, like, when I quoted the 250,000.
That was
This was
ready,
already in
you
it.
ready budgeted for that? Okay.
So we're good there, right? So okay.
Right.
So do you guys? I will get you more information on it. But do you still want me to give him the go because he has till May 31st to complete it to Buster?
Well, yes, and you ready, Jackie's ready, that's
Yeah.
not,
That's not a contingent. I can
Yes,
I can
please.
send it to you.
Yep.
So okay. Okay, juvenile court. We have a bid date of May 10th, so we're ready to move on that one. And then moving on to the Ravenna courthouse, we have a bid date for that, or excuse me, probate court. For the probate court renovation of the 2nd and 3rd floor, we have a bid date of May 24th. And they're happy about that, so we can move forward with those. For the Riddle Block building, we have the bid award recommendation for the HVAC for CXR Metalworks. So we're gonna move, we have the contract, will be in place starting next week, and you guys will see that coming through DocuSign.
when's the thought process? Once we do this, when's their start date?
So it just depends when the document's signed. They're supposed to have till October, the end of October,
To start?
to complete
Okay.
the HVACs and part of the roof. Now, part of the roof, they're doing one portion of the flat roof, but the slate is the following year because of product and labor. They can't.
Yeah.
They can't do that.
And that's
so.
what, the slate's not terrible. I think last time you had me up there, it kind of bounced in a couple places.
Are they?
I don't want to keep walking on there.
The real slate? Are they using that
Has to be real.
artificial slate?
They would not let us use artificial slate, so it's real slate.
Yeah, because you remember that one other time we looked. There's a.
Not like you could see it up close and personal.
I know the historical society would not
Are
approve
hysterical.
So ask them how much they're donating towards this.
it.
They get it their time.
Yeah. So, yeah, but once it gets going, but I have to really plan it well with the roofing company and the HVAC because they pull up the units, they have to do the curbs, they have to stick it back, so it'll be,
So you have to have a crane to take the.
Oh, yeah.
So it's gonna take time to put the roof on after they remove that. Does the crane sit there?
it just depends how long, that's what I have to do, and now I have to have meetings with all of them to see, because they have to come up with a game plan, because we have to shut down roads.
Yeah.
And I work with the city with that, so they're really good about it, so. But the crane doesn't always just sit there, sometimes they'll bring it back, because they usually own a crane, and they'll take it to different sites. I just don't know if they're using an outside company for that or not.
But on a good note is the bid came in about 41,000
I know,
less.
I know. That's just, knock on wood. there's
Mark
no-
that on the calendar. That does not happen.
Right. And that's it, and then I just have all my resolutions.
All right.
Okay. I'll make a motion. The Board of Commissioners agrees to declare the necessity to purchase one vehicle with a trade-in of one vehicle for use by the Portage County Building Maintenance Department.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Tony,
Yes.
The Board of Commissioners accepts and awards the bid for the Riddle Block Building HVAC equipment replacement.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Tony,
Yes.
The Board of Commissioners approves the specifications and sets the bid date for the Portage County Juvenile Court Building renovation project.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Tony,
Yes.
The Board of Commissioners approves the specifications and sets the bid date for the Portage County Probate Court renovation project.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Tony,
Yes.
The Board of Commissioners agrees to enter into an agreement for prevention, retention, and contingency PRC family support services with Portage County Job and Family Services and Catholic Charities.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Tony,
Yes.
Board of Commissioners agrees to enter into an amendment number 3 with Jobs and Family Services and Emerald Transportation to provide transportation services.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
The Board of Commissioners agrees to enter into an amendment number 2 for the transportation services with Portage County Jobs and Family Services and Portage Area Regional Transportation Authority Services.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
The Board of Commissioners accepts bids for various bituminous materials for use by the Portage County Engineer.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
The Board of Commissioners accepts bids for various bituminous liquids for use by the Portage County Engineer.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
The Board of Commissioners authorizes the Portage County Engineer to participate in the Ohio Department of Transportation's annual road salt bid 018-24 for the 2023 to 2024 winter season.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
The Board of Commissioners agrees to enter into an agreement with AdGators.com LLC for equipment and ongoing services for docket vision check-in with interactive kiosk screen stations at the courthouse 4 units and the municipal court Kent Branch 1 unit.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes. Thank you, Miss Shannon.
Thank you so much.
Michelle, are you doing the grant administrator?
Yes. It's just a typical journal entry.
Oh, take it back over here. All right. Oh, wow, what a journal entry. Okay, the Board of Commissioners authorizes Commissioner Anthony Badalamenti, President of the Board, to sign the 5th quarter cash reimbursement request in the amount of $89,427.51 for the EMPG fiscal year 22 Q5 grant as prepared by the Portage County Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Management and reviewed by the Department of Budget and Financial Management and Grant Administrator with no exceptions noted. Copies of this request will be kept on file at the Homeland Security and Emergency Management Office.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
Okay. That takes us up to what, Matt Hill?
Matt's coming up at 10 or 9:30.
Do you want to do
Miscellaneous.
Okay. The Board of Commissioners acknowledged receipt of March 28th, 2023 amended Certificate of Estimated Resources for the year beginning January 1st, 2023 as submitted by the Portage County Budget Commission.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
The Board of Commissioners acknowledged the receipt of March 31st, 2023 notice from Faith Lyon and Teresa Nielsen, Portage County Board of Elections, requesting an extension of their post-election office hours as directed by the Ohio Secretary of State's office for the ballot cure period as follows. Wednesday, May 3rd, 4:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. Thursday, May 4th, 4:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. Friday, May 5th, 4:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, May 6th, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. In addition, the Board of Election has requested that a sheriff deputy be available for the office security during the previously listed dates and times.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
The Board of Commissioners approves the March 2023 adjustments to the Portage County Water, Portage County Sewer, and Streetsboro Sewer billing accounts as reported on the adjustment reports submitted and reviewed by the Department of Budget and Financial Management.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
The Board of Commissioners authorized Anthony J. Badalamenti to sign the revised State of Ohio 2021 Target of Opportunity Program Grant Agreement Extension for grant number BD-21-1CJ-4 as follows as presented by the Regional Planning Commission. Project completion, April 30th, 2023. Draw date, May 31st, 2023. Completion date, June 30th, 2023.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes. We're going to take about a 5-minute recess.
Beth, are you going to be here for a while or?
Sure. Yeah. I can even say a couple words if you.
Oh, well, come on up, Beth, please. Beth is from Senator J.D. Vance's office, and she's here to visit us today.
Thank you, ma'am.
So she was in East Palestine last time with that disaster.
Yeah.
Okay, I will get you one. I'm right up here, but yes, thanks so much, Commissioners Christian Bennett, President Badalamenti, and Commissioner Tinlin and staff. It's a pleasure to be here. As you know, Commissioner Bennett, I served in Hudson City Council for almost 7 years, and so just seeing this
My
sort of
neighbor.
elegant dance that you all kind of efficiently do, it's really a great community service, and I appreciate it. Just listening to all the funding needs from infrastructure to community services. It's really bedrock, very valuable work that you do. So thanks for doing it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So Senator Vance, I'll quickly. I know you were going to take a quick.
No,
break.
no, wait, the break is not necessary.
Okay.
And I apologize for not recognizing you.
Oh no,
earlier.
not at all. Senator Vance, as you know, took office January 3rd, and he has been aggressively committed to serving the hardworking people of Ohio. I look forward to coming back to you another time and sort of giving you a 100-day update, kind of all the things but I'll give you a quick high level, since he really hit the ground running in January, and as a new legislator, I've just been so impressed with the work that he's doing. He introduced the PART Act, which aimed to combat that catalytic converter
Yes,
theft.
the serial numbers.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to seeing that get passed. He's co-sponsored dozens of pieces of legislation. He's written congressional letters to the Biden administration demanding accountability and transparency on Ukraine spending, and a number of other things. He was named to 4 Senate committees: Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs, Commerce, Science, and Transportation, the Joint Economic Committee, and the Special Committee on Aging. And as you had mentioned, President Badalamenti, that we have been over the past 2+ months now really focused quite a bit on East Palestine, the tragedy that occurred there. We have been aggressively working with the people there and the various agencies to help them sort of recover. And they're such good people, and it's just been amazing to see all the agencies come together. And there's still so much that we don't know, and people still have a lot of serious concerns about their health and the long-term outlook of their community.
Have they moved everybody back in? I know they were talking about moving people out, and
Yeah, so people did come back pretty quickly, but I still talk to constituents daily who have not moved back to their homes. So, and some people have left, but some people who live, on some of those streams and creeks, don't feel comfortable right now, and they still have a strong smell because of some of the contaminants that are really running under a lot of their properties.
Wow.
So even their city hall, they have this creek that runs underneath of it through the whole town. So they're doing a lot of work there, aerating and trying to push out the chemicals and a number of different things. I know the senator has recently, and along with others, has called on the NIH to come and assist with evaluating long-term health concerns, because as you probably know and have heard, it's not just like drinking today's water. It's like over a period of years, what will that do? And so, a lot of people are on wells there. There's a lot of farmers there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of concerns
Very
about
rural.
selling their eggs, selling their hay, different things like that. So it's a really complex issue and problem, and so we want to be there for them. As you probably know, he introduced legislation and authored legislation to increase safety and to add increased accountability to the railroad industry. So we expect that to pass. That's a bipartisan piece of legislation. So we're excited about that. And recently, he, just this past week, introduced legislation to establish English as the official language of the United States. So.
sounds like a great idea.
Yes. Yeah, so that's just a quick high-level update. Thank you so much for having me, and certainly I want to come back and give you a more thorough update. But one of the reasons that I wanted to come and that I've been meaning to come is just to make sure that you know that we are an open door, that we want to have open dialogue.
Yes.
When you need someone to interface with the federal government, I want you to reach out to me. So we look at things like East Palestine, what happened there, and the disaster. It's really critical that we have people that we can call immediately to know what's going on, to assist. So, those numbers that we can reach 24/7. And so we want you to know that, I'm here for you.
Okay.
And even constituent services. We've been able to help so many people with things like, passport issues that sometimes when you're in it, you don't realize that people don't know that the federal government, your U.S. Senator, can help with those issues. And
Yeah.
we've been able to do things for people that you know, I'm really grateful because it's very meaningful to people's lives. So anyway,
Well, Beth, thank you for being here today.
Yes, Beth, we just wanted to say a couple things though
yeah.
before
Sure thing.
Beth, that I'd like her to share with Senator Vance. And one of the thing is, you know, we're very fortunate that the counties have received the ARPA funding, but you know, we have a deadline to use it by 2026, have it spent and everything. Is there any discussions due to the workforce and the shortage on materials of possibly extending that? I don't know. I know that's one of the things that we've been talking about at the County Commissioners Association is a lot of people are feeling that they may not get to use it by then.
sure.
And then another thing is, you know, President Biden is ending the public health emergency on May 11th, which, you know, during the public health emergency, people were not allowed to be kicked off benefits such as SNAP, Medicaid, or denied coverage. Once that public health ends, our JFS staff is going to have to redetermine everyone's eligibility. And I understand the Ohio General Assembly recently appropriated $20 million to help with extra staffing, but that might not be enough. So if you would pass that on, there may be additional needs for that. And the last thing is Medicaid exemption for incarcerated adults. You know, once we get the incarcerated inmates, they do not have benefits once they're incarcerated unless they get to a hospital off-site for 24 hours. And we would like him to consider that Medicaid continues as they're incarcerated because it puts a heavy burden on us at the local level to have to pay for inmates, and you know, and a lot of them come to us with not the best health conditions. So if you would just share those points with Senator Vance, I would appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you for so eloquently, you know, elaborating on those concerns, and I will make sure to pass those along. Thank you.
We just looked at that. That's $1.5 million per year for inmates in Portage County.
That's
Yeah.
That's
incredible.
out of
It's
out of
huge.
general fund.
It's huge
Yes.
for us.
So
Yeah.
that's
So,
that is-
but yes, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
I appreciate you, and if you want to come back and bring some cash, that'd be great. That'd be great. And we thank what you and Senator Vance are doing. Thank you.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure.
Great.
Thank you.
All right,
Thanks,
thank you, Beth.
Beth.
Appreciate it. Have a
Good seeing you.
Take care.
There you
Give
go.
our best to the senator.
Thank you. Will do.
Auditor Kelly, you're up, sir.
Who is this guy?
How are you?
This is the first.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Hey, this is an easy one. Thank you. I appreciate it. So the GIS team upstairs, or on the 6th floor, downstairs, would like to move their offices down to the current land bank, which is 137, 169, and 170 on the first floor. Gives them a little bit more room. I think the good selling point on this, Joe brought this up, was that it's easier for public accessibility to come first floor instead of coming up to the 6th floor, which doesn't sound like a big deal, but you're right there, first floor, can do what they need to do as far as the public coming in and doing any kind of GIS business. So, like I say, give them a little bit more room. He's already scoped it out. The printers that he's required to use for the big maps, all that kind of stuff. There's one of these rooms will be solely for that instead of right, kind of on top of them where they're at right now. And really, the accessibility for the public. So
How many people does that entail, Matt?
2. Now there's talk of hiring a third, but right now there's 2 people in it's Zach and
That's
Joe
what I'm gonna ask.
in that office. So
Matt, is that space going to be big enough? Have you been
My
down
question,
there?
too.
this was you talk about the land bank.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This was
it's-
Joe's request, so he's scoped it out.
'cause
Really?
those printers are
Yeah.
huge. That's
Well,
why
I thought there's only 2 rooms there.
there is, and
Yeah,
you
but
have
it's
to, and one's a
open. It's
walkthrough.
open.
It's open, but there's another room across the hall that Joe was talking about putting his printers at. So
When we
that's
had
why
that meeting.
No, that's where our
What
meeting
room
room
number was
is.
137, 169, and 170.
134 is the meeting
Oh,
room.
room,
but
right,
it
okay.
could be-
Yeah, because that one across the the one that the land bank is in is
It's not.
there's 2
near there.
relatively small,
Yeah,
and then the one across the hall is a larger room,
yeah,
but that's a meeting room.
Yeah.
We have to take a look at that.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's fair.
Yep, absolutely.
This is Joe's request.
request?
So
Okay.
he scoped it out and feels that it's an appropriate amount of room for what he needs.
The one across the hall may be the issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll check with that.
Yep.
But, yeah.
So just
Yep, great.
Okay.
just to bring it up, 137,
Absolutely.
169, and 170.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll check with Shannon and maybe get with you or Joe and
Sure.
come down and take a look at what they're looking at.
Great.
I'll
Okay.
schedule that right now.
Okay, thanks,
All
thanks,
right.
thanks,
Thank
Matt.
you.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Matt.
Matt.
Appreciate
How's it's been what? Has it been 90 days yet?
No.
No? Okay,
Yeah.
60 days?
Not even
This
30
Oh, that's
days.
right, you're March, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was thinking Jan, you're March
Yeah.
16th.
No, this is my third and a
Yeah.
half week, so
Oh,
I
awesome.
love it.
All right,
Yeah, it's
good,
great.
good, good.
So, I appreciate
Welcome.
it.
Are you a probationer?
No, I'm the auditor. Yeah.
It's-
Yeah, I am on probation, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, yeah.
90
Probation.
days.
We'll see if we're keeping you. All right, thank you, Matt, for coming up.
Thanks, Matt.
Good to see you.
Yep.
All right. Chris, I believe you're up, sir.
Morning, Mr. Prosecutor.
Assistant.
Assistant prosecutor.
Boss
That's-
is,
You don't want to
No,
get fired.
he's not here.
He's listening though.
Still an assistant. That's,
What you got for us, Chris?
Well, this is the Streetsboro matter, and
Yes.
looking at this, if we don't have a resolution, I think we start from scratch. Just I can get you a resolution if that's the direction you want to go with, you know, those 12 parcels.
Yeah, I can tell you, I was here when that happened, and Gene Roberts, when the city approached us, and Gene said we really had no use, they're not buildable lots. The only thing he requested was that easement be granted back. And he was fine with it at that time, so.
Okay.
Could you talk a little bit about this? Because I wasn't
Yeah.
here, neither was Commissioner Tinley.
Yeah, basically, recently Amy and Commissioner Bennett got an email from the city of Streetsboro. Want to know the status of a 2018 issue with a property conveyance to the city.
Where's that property at?
It's, I have the parcel numbers.
Do you have a location besides the parcel number?
It's on 14 and,
Near Pike Parkway
yeah.
and Tower Drive. I think it's up near, would it be near there's.
It's by Page Road, it says here, Page, location address is Page, Pike Parkway, and 14. It's sorta,
Is that like an industrial parkway? Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Got
we
it.
can get you a tax map. on
Yeah,
it.
yeah, it just, I mean, it sounds like Amy knows what's going on, Sabrina knows what's going on, and
Yeah.
our eyes have not been opened yet.
Oh, that's okay,
Yep, yep.
'cause, it looks like it's about 12
Yeah,
parcels.
and I don't have a problem with Streetsboro doing that, I just didn't know.
Yeah.
Wasn't-
They're all, the only thing I would bring up, and if you had an agreement already, you know, we can just go with that,
Mhm.
but, the auditor does have an assessed value on those, and I know when it comes to another political subdivision, you can convey on whatever terms you want, it
Mhm.
could be a donation, so there's no problem there. But you know, if it was a private party, then
we would have to
raise
put a
it.
value on it.
Yeah, but if you just wanna go with whatever was agreed on, I'm not trying to say don't go with
That's
that.
for us, that's
But
Page.
if you had an agreement where
Sounds
you
good.
just donate it,
Yeah.
I'll just send you up a resolution next week.
Yeah, and then you just said to donate, we were just looking at the map.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's
and they're
up to
not
the board.
buildable, so you
No.
really can't do anything with them. I mean, they're looking to add them, I think, to additional parcels or something. I forget
To do
what
what?
they want to do to possibly do some development, but they had to add it to these because these, as their themselves, were not buildable. I
Mhm.
guess.
And there's an
Not-
electrical tower on one of those
Yeah.
parcels, a
Yeah.
large
Okay.
extension
very
electrical tower.
restrictive.
The one that's at the corner of Tower Drive and Pike Parkway.
Okay.
To the north, just before the turnpike, it's pretty big.
Yeah,
Is it, okay,
but we already agreed, to,
okay.
Yeah,
so
no disagreement.
Fair
of-
enough.
of
Yeah.
we'll
giving
just
that to
go
Streetsboro.
with what we have.
Okay, what I'll do then, I'll draft a resolution, send it up to Amy and Michelle for next week about declaring it not needed for public use and go from there.
Sounds good.
All right.
That's it today?
That's all, folks.
Oh, you got
Wow.
easy today, geez.
Yes, sir. That's
All
what
right,
we
thank
like.
you, Chris.
All right,
Good
thanks.
seeing you.
You too.
Happy Easter.
Have a nice Easter.
Yes.
See you again.
At 10 o'clock,
So, and effectively,
we don't have anything
Right.
until then.
we will take a recess till 10 o'clock. No. Yeah, we'll do that, for sure. See you guys back at 10. Myself.
I bet you are.
Very
I need a
unusual
booster
experience.
seat. I like to sit
I know.
up
I feel.
higher.
What if I was really short? This would be like really awkward, right?
So what's going on?
Hey, you know, I haven't been here in like a year.
We're
and
gonna
Okay,
reconvene.
yeah.
there you go.
Ready?
Go. Sorry.
We're going to reconvene Board of Commissioners. And could you introduce yourself to us?
My name is Shallon Lowry, and I am the Executive Director of Portage Animal Protective League.
Have you met this young lady before?
I don't think we've met.
Commissioner
How are
Zimmerman?
you?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I know one of my best friends is good friends with your son.
I'm sorry.
I'll tell her you said that.
Okay, all right. So go
Are you
ahead.
ready for me?
Yep, yes,
Cool. So I brought a few of these. These are our report to the community for 2022. It's it's a front and back. It's hard to summarize a year's work in a front and back, but it's just for your reading pleasure. I haven't been here for about a year, I don't think.
At least a year. 'Cause
So
I remember he come when I first started.
yeah. So I thought I would just come and give you some updates on all the good work that we've been doing for Portage County. Namely, last year was a record year in intake and adoptions, in services, in expenses, in all those things that kind of have gone along with the inflation portion of the economy. But I'm super excited because we took in 300 more animals last year than we did the previous. So that's a huge amount of animals.
What were the numbers prior?
9, almost 1,000. So we took in a ton of animals, and obviously for the pandemic portion of the last couple years, our intake was down a little bit anyway, but the numbers that we saw last year were more than we've ever taken in probably any year previous decade.
How
So,
come? What do you think?
oh gosh, I think there's like this many things that contribute to it, but I would say inflation, the pandemic. Evictions, a lot of abandonment, a lot of cruelty, a lot of hoarding. And hoarding has always been a thing, but I really do think that the pandemic had a sort of either a direct impact or created worse hoarding situations.
Because they didn't leave their houses and.
Yeah.
Well, and it's a mental illness, and
Yeah,
so I think that when people have trauma, like loss of a family member who had COVID, or they lose their job, or things like that, that sort of creates the hoarding thing. And so, gosh, just in the last probably 6 months, we've been working with 4 houses that have 30 plus cats in them. And instead of us being like, you're in trouble, we're going to take all your animals, we're trying to go out there and say, hey, you have a serious issue here. How can we help you? And so we're trying to bring in the cats, give them food, give them resources, because the problem will continue no matter what we do.
Fixed.
Yeah, you can't fix it. People won't get help if they don't want it. So we try to be proactive and not wait till it gets to a point where people are seriously being cruel to their animals, which sometimes they are. And in those cases, we obviously will file charges. We have a pretty hefty case happening right now with someone. We took horses, dogs, a bird, other animals from, cats, that we filed charges against just recently. So, but good, I look at it as good stuff in the sense that if we're getting more reports, it means people are aware that we do this work, and they're caring about the animals in their community. So if we're getting more calls and we're getting more animals in, and people know they can call us when they need food or they need to surrender a pet, it's a good thing that we're helping more animals. We're taking in more small animals too, like guinea pigs and bunnies and all kinds of stuff. Yeah,
Birds.
I have a bird. The bird is in my office currently that we seized from the home, and it's not for adoption because it's part of a cruelty case. But he bites, but he's very nice. Otherwise,
I bite, but I'm really nice.
But when you haven't been socialized properly, and you don't know how to interact with people because he lived in such a terrible way, like I don't blame him, But yeah, our humane officer, our humane agent is just busy. She's working overtime, answering these calls for cruelty and neglect. Veterinary expenses, like everything right now, have skyrocketed. So we're paying more for services. I think our medical expenses were up 70% last year over the previous. So I think in the end, our expenses were short of $1 million last year, probably something that we have to raise all through donation. So the flip side of that is that we have this amazing community who supports us, right? Like times are tough for everyone, and somehow they come through with enough money for us to save all these animals. And
Children and pets.
I know,
They
right?
always come through, and seniors.
Well, and I think that that's the beauty and the sad part of it is that's so interrelated, right? So like if people abuse their kids, they probably abuse their animals. If they abuse their spouse, they probably abuse their animals and their kids. And so we often have to work with, Child Protective Services. If we go into a house where there's animals being abused and there's also children, we need to reach out to them and cross-report with each other so that we make sure everybody's getting checked on, which is hard for everyone to see. But again, we've got all these people in the community that are still supporting us, and it's not like we're not spending money. I mean, we're doing heart surgeries, we're doing leg orthopedic surgeries, and the veterinary shortage has caused us to have to use emergency vets a lot, which equals
Big money.
I remember one weekend a few months ago, we had 3 hit by car dogs in one day that all had to go to VCA Animal Hospital, and it was like an $8,000 bill by the time I got it because they had to stay several days. We just had a parvo puppy. So we're sparing no expense. I mean, we want to save these animals. That's what people want us to do. And so they come in, they cost a lot of money, they go back out. We adopt them for like $150 and we spend thousands on them, which is why the donations are so important, because it's not like we're making money on adoptions. We're taking in more surrenders. We're really the only place in the county that takes in surrenders that doesn't charge, right? So like if you don't have the money to surrender your pet, we'll take it. If another place wants to charge you, if people can afford that, right? They can't afford to be charged to surrender their animal. Usually they're in a bad way. So we're taking in cats, dogs, bunnies. I have a bunny in my office also.
The bunny and a birdie?
A bunny and a birdie. And that's actually the least amount I've had in a while. We don't have the space for small animals in our shelter, like a dedicated area for like bunnies and things. And so my office has become the small animal area. At some point, I think I had 2 guinea pigs, 2 bunnies, and a bird. So I'm losing space for my work. So I guess I just wanted to touch base and let you know about all the good stuff that we're doing. Answer any questions you have about our services. I know that you're new, maybe don't know all of the things that we do, so feel free to please ask questions. I know that you both, especially Sabrina, are really familiar with our work. So
I go all the way back to when Paul Hibbler was your humane officer.
Wow.
So
wow.
I'm very familiar with you.
I've been there 11 years now, which is hard to believe. It's gone so fast, but that was before my time. So
that was horse and buggy.
Horse and buggy time, he said.
We've tried to send him down to your place.
Yeah.
But you keep calling him, come get him.
Well, you still
We
haven't been
surrender him,
for a visit.
and
No, he wants me to stay there.
Oh, you want to surrender him?
Yeah, we want to
Switch
surrender
him
him.
this.
I gotcha.
But we
You're
keep
calling him
getting a call.
Yeah.
We can't take him. Okay.
I had a lady ask us yesterday if we took children, as a joke, obviously, because
I wasn't
and we said
I
no.
wasn't joking.
We have our hands full with all the animals, but
Well, we appreciate what you do.
yeah, it's a good organization. We work really hard to help all the people and the animals in the community. I mean, our food pantry is busy. People need food for their pets. We're happy to help whenever we can. In any situation, we tell people, please just ask for help. Like, don't wait until you're at a place where you're abusing your animal or it's thin or whatever, because then we're at a place where criminal charges can be filed. Don't be a criminal. Ask for help if you need it, and a lot of people do. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't. And then,
How do people, if I'm in that state of
Sure.
mind to do that, how do I know you exist?
well, I would hope that if you looked up Humane Society, if you looked up animal cruelty investigation, many of those things I would probably
if
result.
I'm the owner of the pet,
Oh,
I'm not thinking criminal investigations. I'm
Gotcha.
not thinking of that. If I don't know there's help out there.
Mm-hmm. I would hope that you would think, like, where's a local animal shelter? Where's a place I can call? If you called a veterinarian, they would probably direct you to us. If you called the sheriff, they would probably direct you to us. If you called the dog warden, they would probably direct you to us. I would hope that you could ask a neighbor or a friend, and they would say, call the APL
Like word of mouth and, well, and you have fundraisers too.
We have fundraisers. We've got one next weekend. So you're coming, yes? You and Sparky? Good. I hope you'll both try to come. We've got our biggest fundraiser of the year called Pause to Celebrate. It's at the Legion in Kent. It's auction and dinner and raffles and all kinds of fun stuff. So it's one of the ways we raise some of the large budget we need to fill each year. But the events help, the donations help. People bring us supplies. I mean, it all matters. You know, somebody said to me, "I only send you $5 a month," and I just don't know if. And I thought, if all the people who sent us $5 a month stopped, we'd be in a bad way. Like, it all matters so much.
And Sean, remind me, statute, how much do we give for the humane officer each year?
I think there's something in the code for like $125 a month or something.
Yeah, back in the day when I first started, it was only like $25 a year.
Yeah, I think it's for some reason they write it into the code that way, like that's some sort of I don't know, you know. But yeah, we're pretty self-sufficient in terms of funds and stuff. We don't require anything from the government. We try to make it on our own as best we can, you know.
Yeah.
Which is great, but we'll take what we can get. I mean, it all matters, right? It makes such a difference. So, yeah, I mean, the horses in our care, they can cost thousands and thousands to rehab. If any of you have horses, you know how expensive their care is.
Debbie's daughters.
Especially when.
Ask Tony. He knows all about horses.
Jenna's #1 in the country. Junior hunter.
Oh, really?
So,
wow.
Horses are like, oh my.
Well, and you can imagine when they're 400 pounds underweight, how much
Yeah,
care it takes to get them
absolutely.
back to health. It's 6 months, it's 8 months, it's teeth and
I
hooves
adjust
and
horses.
huh?
I adjust horses.
Yeah.
And that's with some of the barns that I go to do the horses. They get some of the rescues.
Oh,
and
that's
they're
very
400, 500,
nice. You work with
600.
Happy Trails and
No, I
No?
do all private.
all private
Yeah.
stuff. That's cool. That's really great. They deserve that. I can't imagine.
It's actually fun.
beasts of burden, man. Their backs and legs and that's great. How fun.
It's cool.
Any questions that you have for us?
Anything
Any
else?
concerns? Anything?
Don't. Actually, I'm very familiar with your organization, although I don't like to go out there because I'll come home, I'll be a pet hoarder.
Oh, right.
But I come to your events and I
Yes, you
support
do.
them.
Yes,
So-
you do. We appreciate it. We appreciate it very
we
much.
appreciate all that you do
Thank
for,
you.
for the families and the pet owners in the county. And you
Yeah.
know, sometimes it's very hard. They have to make those tough decisions.
Yeah,
to
for
surrender
sure.
Pets and
Yeah.
stuff, so.
Well, and on that note, I will say really briefly, because I know I only have a few minutes, but if you don't know this, we don't euthanize animals for space or time, ever. Animals stay with us as long as it takes to find them homes. The only reason we would euthanize if an animal is an extreme medical case where that can't be saved, and a veterinarian would say so. That wouldn't be our choice. Like I said, we do everything we can to save them. And of course, an animal that might be dangerous to the community, we would obviously opt not to put an animal that's unsafe out there. But our euthanasia numbers are the lowest they've ever been as well. So our intake is the highest it's been, and our euthanasia rate's the lowest. So we're working really hard to do everything we can to save them.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank
Jennifer,
you.
thank you very much for coming in. Appreciate the
Thanks,
information.
Shelley.
Thank you.
Thanks for taking the time. I appreciate it.
Nice to meet you.
Please reach out if you have questions or need anything.
Yeah.
Or,
I'll see you next weekend.
yep, see you next
Bye-bye.
weekend.
Thanks,
Thank
Shelley.
you.
Got the fire investigation.
Hey, Chief.
Chief.
Chief, we're ready for you guys.
Ready, guys, come on. I'm just a fly in the wall.
You're just. I saw that back row. I was like, what are you doing?
And I'm the fly that got swatted.
Okay.
Did you guys sign in?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Okay, do you need the sheet? No. Okay.
Mr. Scott, you got front and center, sir.
I have front and center.
I believe this
Yes,
is.
You didn't tell me this. I didn't plan.
We
knew you
assumed.
would. That's why we
We
did it.
assumed. Pardon?
This being videotaped?
Yes, it is.
Oh my God.
Yes.
No, it's
Cameras
actually,
over there.
It's actually live. Yes.
Would you like to
Where's
bring?
it go?
It goes out into
Live.
It's live.
It's live, so people can watch what you're doing. And you
see
want
all
to,
of
Scott, can you state your name for the record for our clerk? Please.
Lynn Scott.
You want stuff.
Okay. Do you need a moment?
I do.
Okay. Right. Yep. We're gonna take a minute break.
I could bring something up.
Yes,
if you have
please.
a minute.
Yep. Do we need the other commissioner?
So earlier on the project discussion, there are 3 projects that are not completely funded.
Mhm.
So I wanted to know, is the board, did you want to talk about funding today, or do you want us to come back next week with a full list of what has and has not been funded? In particular, the fencing project. The board has approved the project, but you have not approved the funding.
Just like
What
the
would you like us to do?
remodeling up here, we've approved the project, but we're gonna put everything on hold for right now.
Okay.
So whatever the 3 projects that are you're talking about,
Do you
Yep.
know?
that,
Or next week, they can come and give us the full list.
yeah, absolutely.
We'll bring a full list next week, but I just wanted to be sure if you had another funding in mind or not, so, okay.
If you tried to surrender tonight to the APL, does that mean that you admit that you were abusing him?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't. I think Sabrina did. That's what I've heard. Hi, Chief.
What is it?
I'll do the. She wants me to sing.
Not.
I would love to hear it.
What do you think, Chuck? Should I?
Plug my ears.
No.
I was gonna say, not,
Please do.
let's not get caught up in the moment over here. What are we waiting for?
He had to talk to Tony. Because what he was telling me wasn't for me.
You know, this is not good.
Do you want to recess?
Yeah, we need to recess.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna recess for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Amy, you ready? We'll go ahead and reconvene Board of Commissioners.
Chuck, could you please introduce yourself
Sure.
to us? Who you are, what you do?
I'm Chuck Coleman, Assistant Team Leader with the Portage County Fire Investigation Team. Also full-time firefighter, paramedic, lieutenant at Manawha Shores Fire Department.
Okay, great, thank you. Please you can have a seat.
All right.
Get comfortable.
I believe I'm supposed to hand these out.
Yep.
Who all needs a copy?
There's
Any copies?
I can get one later, that's okay.
Okay.
two of
All right.
it, yeah, one on either side.
All right.
If you have one, sure. Thank you.
Oh,
How long have you been with the fire investigation team?
since 2006.
6, okay,
Yep.
great, all right.
Been a while.
Yeah, yep. Lynn started from, I'm not sure how much of the history you know about it, but
And please brief everybody else that's
it
listening.
started around 2006, maybe a little bit before.
You're on camera, so it's okay.
Yeah,
You don't have to
looking
turn it
for
off. We
Pete.
got it.
And basically started from nothing. We've over the years acquired a lot of training, a lot of certifications, a lot of equipment that came from donations, grants. We've bought ourselves. We're looking to go to the next level, to be they're coming out, 921's coming out, NFPA 921's coming out with some new standards, which requires more training.
What is 921?
National, basically it's the standards that we have to follow to investigate a fire. What we have to do, when we have to do it, why we have to do it, stuff like that. It's coming out with new standards for training, qualifications that we need to do, equipment we need to have, and that's kind of why we're here. Pamphlet here. Manpower, obviously. Personnel is the big thing everywhere.
Where do you get your personnel from?
From departments around the county.
Departments? Okay.
Like, I'm from Manaway, Lynn's from Aurora, Pete's currently Atwater, he was Charlestown, he was Ravenna City, Tom Nellis is Atwater, Bill Saglasar is Ravenna City.
Okay.
And we will respond from home, if, some departments, if the staffing's good enough, will let us leave when we're on duty, others cannot. So training, basic fire investigators, about 80 hours, and it's an ongoing, you constantly need to CE to keep up your certifications and stuff. The prices here, advanced fire investigation, your continuing education, there's for examples, there's Ashland Arson School, it's a 2-day seminar, it's $125. Ohio Arson School is a 3-day seminar, it's $225 plus your hotel and all that good stuff. So look at all the fees, you're well over $1,000 just kind of
Just to get
in the
one
first couple
person.
of years getting going. Then your certifications that you need to get: a CFI, Certified Fire Investigator, CFEI was explosions, FIT, which is Fire Investigation Technician. Those are FIT's the bottom one. You work your way up, and to get the CFI and the CFEI is extensive. It takes
Now, does
years and years to do, and
Does
time in court.
each person have to be certified, and how much does it cost to be certified? Or is that just the seminar?
That I don't know because
Okay.
it takes decades.
Years, okay.
To get some of those, you actually have to do time in court, presenting cases, stuff like that. The FIT certification you kind of do online. I don't know the exact cost of that one, but it's through this CFI trainer. You see up top, which is free. It's an online thing, but there's time and stuff associated with that. Vehicles. Currently, we have a trailer that was donated to us by MAD when they were done using it. It's in good to fair shape. It needs some attention. It needs some paint work. It needs maintenance. It needs some roof work. We have no vehicle to actually pull it with. We use fire department vehicles. One of us that's responding, we'll take our utility vehicle from that department, grab it, and go to the scene. It's full of tools and stuff that, like I said, we've got throughout the years. Here's some rough prices. Like a F-150 is about $43,000. A cap for it is $3,100. The cargo glide, which is like a big tray that goes in and out of it, is $1,200. F-59 striped chassis is 4x2, $72,000. F-250 crew cab 4x4 is $53,000. A W9CO T350 MR cargo, I think that's the van, is $52,000. And an F450 or 550 with a fabricated storage unit on it is $250,000.
Do you have any of these vehicles at this time?
No.
Okay.
So this is just like what you would need or your wish list?
We would like something along those lines.
Wish
Yes.
line.
Yes. The equipment, like I said, we have a trailer. It's got a generator, hand tools, digging tools, sifting tools, evidence collection equipment, battery-powered hand tools that are towards the end of their lifespan. They need replaced. Cameras, an accelerant detection sniffer, a heat sealer for evidence bags, evidence cans, measuring tools. Some needs is office space, so we can do reports, research, meet with insurance investigators. A computer for report writing, and reports into BATS program, which is a bomb arson tracking system. APR, air purifying respirators, SCBAs, like firefighters completely contained. Coveralls, protective clothing, gloves, helmets or hard hats, CO monitors, cleaning supplies for tools, which is like simple green, place to clean tools and clothing, radios for communications, MDT for leads, OLEG, background on suspects, portable printers, evidence storage facility.
I mean, pretty big list.
Yeah.
Where do you guys do this now?
Some of it we can't do.
Okay.
Like we'll start with the bottom one. The evidence storage facility. We have a beat up mold metal locking cabinet that's stored at Manaway Fire Department, kind of hidden up in the mezzanine. It's locked, it's secured, but it's not the greatest. If somebody really wanted in it, they're going to get in it. And we're possibly securing evidence for crime scenes. Radios for communication. We kind of use the fire department radios and yell across the scene at each other, maybe a phone. No real good way to do it. Place to clean tools and clothing. Usually the tools and stuff, I take that responsibility on because the trailer's stored at Manaway Fire Department. So it's kind of my little thing. So usually the tools come back, and they have to be separated. They can't go back in that trailer because they're dirty, they're contaminated. So they got to go back in another vehicle, bed of a pickup truck. They come back, they go through a cleaning process of Dawn or Simple Green, scrubbed down, cleaned, wiped, so that any maybe gasoline from a previous fire is not on those tools to contaminate another fire. Hard hats and helmets, what we've gathered on our own, or our fire department helmet. CO monitors, we don't really have anything good for that.
Okay.
Coveralls, protective clothing, what we bought ourselves,
They sound like dive team.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah, and that's the situation with this FIU. You've got a lot of great personnel. You got Mr. Peterson back there that's had years. You got Suffield Fire Chief that's had years of service. And these guys all kind of came together and they built this. And they built this with their own. And what I mean by that is their own tools and their own shovels and their own, to make sure that we had it in the county and made it available to the fire departments. And the bottom to the whole picture is that they're at a spot now where, not that some departments are saying we're not playing anymore, but they're having some issues with personnel, keeping them, because just as Chuck indicated, you gotta keep your CEs up, and it's a lot of work. And 90% of that is your own time. And I appreciate the fire departments out there that allow you to use their vehicles to pull a trailer to a scene, or take guys to a scene, or pick up evidence, and thank Manaway for housing the evidence, and I know the chief in Suffield, he's just done a ton that nobody even knows what's going on, and I think that's why I'm going to call it a wish list, but I think that's why we put this together to see where we need the.
How many years were you on Roar's Fire Department?
11.
11? How often have you ever been, our fire team, investigation team, been called
Yes.
to Roar?
So how many calls do you do on average? And I know it fluctuates a year. And do you just
We're
do
right
Portage
around-
County? Or do you guys go out and do mutual?
Well, we're around, I want to say 20 calls a year. I don't have the numbers. They might be in here. Around 20 a year. Okay. I know we've had 20 plus in a few years on some of the busier years. We were called once out of county by a neighboring team needing some assistance. So yes, we want to do Portage County,
Yeah.
but we're not going to say no
Well, yeah.
Somebody
to
calls for
somebody
help.
else that needs help. You know,
You'd hope they'd
We're,
return
we
it.
want to take care of home first.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how you guys are.
Yeah.
Somebody calls, you wanna help.
Yeah.
So what happens if you don't exist? If there wasn't a fire investigation unit, who would do the investigation?
It's required that every fire chief is required to investigate a fire. Then that basically says he has to do it, or his designee. So he can say somebody in his department, you know, Mike, you're going to go investigate this fire. Through the past, your CE, your certifications weren't there. Anybody could
That was my next question.
be an investigator. Chief says, you're the investigator. So you're the investigator.
Okay.
You know,
But I don't have
through
the skills.
Right.
and
Through the
training.
years, NFPA 921, the standards have come along, and you need to follow these because you investigate the fire, you think it was set, you say Mike said it, you all go to court. You have no certifications, you're going to get laughed out of court as an expert witness because you didn't follow these standards, you don't have any certifications. Now they're in the next step of making, instead of standards, they're going to be required. So the chiefs are going to have somebody investigate the fires that meet these standards. They're
So I
required
think
to meet these standards.
that goes with Commissioner Bennett's thought. We don't have anybody certified in
There
Portage
are-
County, and so
There
who do you
are
call?
there are several around Portage County
Okay.
that are certified.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bigger cities have
I
a
was gonna
handful
say,
of their
like
own.
Kent and them might
Kent have
have
their
to.
own. Streetsboro has their own. You know,
So who
but the
utilizes
smaller
this?
part, it's like the rest of the county teams. There's parts of the county that can't supplement all
Sustain,
this
right,
stuff.
right.
So that's what we're trying to do.
So you normally work with like the smaller departments, or go out for them?
We've
and
gone.
Or
We've gone. I probably at some point I don't hold me to this, but probably almost every entity. I've known we've done most of the more northern part of the county because I've been to those. We have assisted Kent. We have assisted Streetsboro. Before Streetsboro actually had their own thing going, we were Streetsboro's first call.
And I think it's important that people know that if we have a fire in a home and a life is taken through that fire, I think the family has a right to know what happened. And that's been something, if you guys aren't available or around or existing, it's going to take a while.
Yep.
I don't think that's fair.
they have to pay someone else to come in?
Well,
and
the
do
fire
that?
marshal, he'll come in, but
Yeah.
he'll come in later.
Yeah. The state ultimately will come in. They have their own investigation. There's issues with communications and their state. They're doing all kinds of stuff. You don't get the service. And even if you take all the bad stuff out of the fire, nobody got hurt. It wasn't set. It was purely accidental. You also want to find out what started that. Was it the battery in the cell phone that was, burning up so many years ago? And that information all gets passed on through these conferences and stuff and organizations, and we start seeing a handful of cell phones catching fire. Well, the next county over, the next state does it. That's how the recalls and stuff are done, is through stuff like this being
So
put
trivia
together.
for you. What's the number one cause of fires that you see?
I don't have a good answer. They're all over the place. Most stuff is accidental.
Yeah.
Either somebody did it accidentally, or some sort of electronic or
was gonna say
malfunction or
mechanical
some
or
sort of
something.
failure.
Yeah. I mean,
And every fire not every fire is figured out. Sometimes everything is just destroyed so bad, you have a pile of charcoal sitting there.
Well, thank you very much for coming in.
Yep. Real quick, there's other paperwork here,
Please.
what we already have,
Okay.
and some of the stuff that we've done. So,
Okay, great.
all right.
Thank you, Chuck, for coming in.
Thank you, Chuck.
Chief or Dan,
Chief,
do you want to say
guys want-
anything?
No, no.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen, for
Thanks,
coming
Chuck.
in today.
No problem. Thank you
Thank
for having us.
guys.
Thank you, appreciate it. Good job.
Bye, Chief. See ya.
Bye, guys.
Bye,
Bye.
Mr. Peterson.
Thanks, Dan.
Chief Spitaleri, you're up, sir.
See, I think Brian. Hey, Brian.
Morgenstern?
Thank you.
He looked at you out of the corner of his eye.
Say what?
Good morning.
Good morning, Brian.
Morning, sir.
Oh, there he is.
Is it you all by yourself?
I guess I'm by myself.
They're
Let's do
sitting
this.
behind
Yeah, I
you.
see that.
They're sitting behind you.
You can handle it.
What's up?
Just basically brought forth a resolution to acquire 2 transport vans for the jail. We got one marked patrol car. I want to say it's about 230,000 miles. Tranny's slipping. We're on its last leg. But we were able to find some alternative options here in this car market with these 2 minivans. We're going to use those to not marked, use them to transport inmates to medical appointments. Like we're doing MAT for those that don't know in the jail. But that requires some increased transportation because some of that's daily to require medicine, counseling, doctor exams, things like that. But so we don't want to lose out and not have a car, so that's what that's for.
We were just speaking out in the hall,
Yes.
and we were talking about the commissary fund. And could you kind of brief everybody else into kind of things that we were talking about?
So the commissary fund has written into the RC some specific things that it can be used for, and the ballpark of it is it has to benefit inmates, and it has to benefit them in a way that like job skills, life skills, something that gives back to them that's other than, you can't use it to pay for their food while they're in jail because we're required to do that. There's another section in the RC that they wrote in that allows us to use it for technology to prevent contraband from coming into the jail. So some of that, I know we were talking like that's there. We have at least a long-term goal of replacing our scanner or upgrading our body scanner with some newer technology ultimately. So that's where some of that money goes. We also use it to fund the inmate work program that you've seen the guys work. So a lot of that stuff. So that fund pays for a lot of the participation in that program and the equipment used for that program, that sewing program, many of you are familiar with that goes on there. So again, if it's building life skills, job skills, things like that for inmates, then it's allowed to be used there. And in this case, the vehicle's transported. It's not taken to court. We're not patrolling the streets with it. It's not marked and doing that stuff. It's just.
So you're going to make them available in the event you need to. We have an emergency. They can be utilized.
If there's a state of emergency, all hats are off. We got to use what we got to use.
And they're what you want. They're both of those.
Yeah.
Are,
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, it's from what we're learning. It's getting harder and harder to get vans. We got one other smaller van, and apparently Ford quit making it, and Chevy doesn't have anything to offer. And
Yeah, a lot of people did do away with
Yeah.
Chevy because everyone's doing the crossovers or
Yes.
the SUVs.
Yes. And the vans are a little nicer for us in the jail because they got this big sliding door, so not everybody's as healthy as everybody else to get in, and that sliding door makes it a little easier to get people in and out. So,
So Brian,
vans help us.
How many vehicles do you guys have for transit now?
So we're using the old 82, and then we have another. I call it a van, but it's something like a transit that Ford makes. So the 2 vans that are in front of you is going to replace, we call 82. That's the patrol car that's got a lot of miles, and then we'll have the other one to augment into that. We're pretty much running 2 to 3 different directions every day. So.
And
I see you all the time.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're all over.
One of the questions that I asked out in the hall is, we've got this lump of money there, and we're getting this. Is there any way of paying for any of the health care? Because I think the jail costs about 1.5, and you were given an explanation, please.
Yeah, I'd have to. I'm not a legal expert. That's the caveat to this. So I don't know if we can use it for the overall health cost of the inmates, but we may be able to use it in some specific cases. Now, I talked about the MAT. There's some State of Ohio put up grant funding and things like that they've set up for jails, and we already participate in the psychotropic reimbursement program every half.
Yeah.
They have the same thing for MAT. So some of that
What
cost.
is MAT?
MAT is medically assisted treatment for opiate addictions. So if they come in and they're already actively enrolled in some kind of program that basically provides medication to help, we continue that here through our partnership with UH, which has also got a Pinnacle connection with their hospital. So that's how that's all handled. But we'll try to recoup that cost.
What about
in June.
the fencing? We've just got a abysmal review this morning of our finances, and we're putting projects on hold, and one of them we're putting on hold is your fencing.
I would probably.
Would you be able to utilize
I
some of
may have
that
to
be the
funding?
sheriff's office.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, you mean could we use?
No, it is for the sheriff's office. That's what I'm saying.
What's the question then?
I would
The commissary fund.
be able to be used, and Ralph, you might know
I
this.
think
You
remember
know?
the,
I believe so, because it's perimeter security.
And we the commissary fund can't do anything to help us incarcerate
It has to
somebody.
be something to benefit directly
Right.
Yeah.
to the prisoner.
Yeah, but it can't be, because the job is to keep them, and they can't pay
Give
for
them
it.
like life skills.
yeah,
or
basically
They-
they can't
we-
pay for their
we
own.
can't pay
keeping.
for their own keeping.
Yeah, it's
Gotcha.
kind of what it boils
Yeah.
down to.
Oh.
The one thing that we were looking at is we've been looking at the possibility of utilizing that fund, because it continues to grow. It's at over approximately 434,000 right now. Was this to look, and I talked to Michelle about this earlier last year, was the possibility of moving forward to look at a garage facility in the back to be able to bring mechanics to try to teach some of the inmates and have like a program that we can try to build some job skills, so that when they get out of jail, they have the ability to maybe go and work at, tire shop or a mechanical shop, or do something, because at the end of the day, we're just, just keeping people in a cell and in a work, day area for 24 hours a day. Really, what are you getting? Not that. So we're trying our best to try to grow some of these programs, and we looked at the possibility of being able to do that so that we could have something mechanically in the back that they could do, and the possibility under the guidance of a mechanic, they could also work on some of the basics of our vehicles, basic oil change, basic tire changes, and we also, talked to like even Water Resources. Their garage is set up for bigger vehicles, but not their smaller vehicles. So, we would be able to potentially do some of those other services for other agencies in the county too, to try to save money on what the normal rate would be of taking it to a garage. That we would be able to have that in-house, but at the same time, the advantage would be is just that skills training that we would be able to build for some of the inmates to be able to leave out of there. And I think a big thing is, giving them an understanding and some ambition to say, I don't need to be in this place. I could live on my own and support myself.
Yeah.
Is that the one what you were talking about? I think last year or so, 4 or 5 bays, a garage that you could do the 4 or 5 bays. Yeah.
And what we would like to do is have like a wash bay. Right now we're washing cars inside the Sally port. And
I'm gonna say,
but
teach them to detail.
Right, exactly, yeah. And I'll tell you, I've been there for over 2 years, and you watch some of the trustees and some of the skill that they've done and how much they've actually saved the county, just stuff that they're doing, maintaining. But you could see they get motivated, that they're showing a different direction, and it's a big service for us to give back to the community, and also to these people that sometimes take a bad turn in their life, and maybe we could, you're never going to correct everybody, but if you could show a light to some, it's an advantage, and that's kind of our goal.
The interaction that I've had with some of the trustees helping do stuff is just like, they will appear to do anything to help there, so it's pretty cool. I think that's a great idea.
We had also talked about a food certification for those that assist in the kitchen.
Yep.
So that was another program that was
That
very
is
well
running.
thought of.
That is running?
Yeah, that's been running since Sheriff Zukowski got
Okay.
here. We met with Airmark.
And do they get a certification?
They get a
after?
Serve Safe certificate once they graduate or finish this. I think it's 6 weeks, 6 or 8 weeks.
I think of all the different fields which we're touching on, that a lot of time you see second chance.
Yes.
And a lot of them are food services, or like my detail shop a lot of times hires people that have records, but they do a great job.
Airmark even guarantees if they can't find work, that Airmark will put them to work. Now, they can't come work at our jail, obviously, for security purposes, because they got out, but Airmark does a lot of stadiums, a lot of places like that. So if they got that Serve Safe and they can't find work, they get a number they can call, and Airmark will find them a job.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Well, we appreciate what you do out there.
Yeah, very much, Brian. Brian, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
We got a.
We did read the resolution.
Are
Do
you
you have a
ready?
We
resolution?
have it in the packet.
I'm ready.
You ready? You got
All
it?
right, I'll make a motion to declare the necessity to purchase 2 vehicles for the use by the Portage County Sheriff's Office from the commissary fund.
Second,
Roll call, please.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Mike?
yes,
Tony?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Good deal.
Brian.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
do it.
Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen. Thanks for being.
Oh, is it 11?
You wanna go back to work?
We're gonna recess till
It's,
11?
Major, you gonna do
Well, you know
something
what?
today, or?
did you want to
You gonna
speak?
do something
We're
today,
going into
or-
recess here in a minute.
Did you wake up from your nap over there?
We
Yeah.
just wanted to hear that,
Did you ever find out that you get a certification for that?
as long as we have a certified, what's the 3 letters for the mechanics? ASE, certified ASE, mechanic instructor, yes. And you could actually get that. The problem is how much time it takes to get. Some of the sentences aren't that long.
I wonder if they could come back and continue.
I think that it's something we would definitely entertain, for sure.
Cause that would give them
Yeah.
a great.
Just give them skills.
That's right, that's right.
Offer them to come back.
Show them how to detail.
Yeah.
I'll get them a job
Is
afterwards.
Maplewood?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Maybe
almost like
maybe
a-
They
finish
clean
at
cars
Maplewood?
now.
Hit the
Well,
ground.
that's what we were saying,
Right,
you
people
know,
are-
a lot of the things you guys are doing
That's
is
right.
where they end up
Basic
at, you know,
ground, lay
they
the
end up
groundwork
being
and then
cooks, they
when
end
they're
up at
done.
car washes, or like
We
a
do a
retail
lot of
shop
that with
tends
GD.
to give a lot of
When you
second
think about it, they come
chances.
into jail, they start taking out
They
the
cut out the grass.
make it out just to finish. But then
Yeah,
they
so
connect
where
with
there's
Landscaping? Well,
You know,
that,
they
that's,
go out, they
So
go
do
out
the
in
same thing.
communities and they clean
Right,
up
I mean,
parks and
different skill level,
they
but-
fix
Yeah, that's a
things
great
in parks
skill
for
to have. I mean,
summertime.
Well, it's
Vehicle problems aren't going
amazing
anywhere, right?
how
They're
different they
The
are
other
once
thing
they
that we
get their
looked at
heads
is
clear,
also
get
the
off that
possibility
stuff.
of maybe putting, like,
And
as part of this, having it.
that chef out of Medina that runs that
Edwin's.
Edwin's. No, there's that Edwin's in Shaker, the one in Medina.
Oh.
He got out of prison, and that's where he started, and he'd been in prison for quite a while.
I think that's, he is somehow, he was part of, or he knew
Edwin's?
that guy,
Yeah.
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 Yeah, the Edwin's guy knew and started the Medina with the partnership.
There's a
Well,
lot
and
of
you don't give
things
them
that,
tools to
Do we already
there's
know
a lot
what
of
it
things
is?
that we can do with these
Right, it's
guys.
easy to just
They
revert
just
back
need
to what
the
you know.
ability to do it.
Mhm.
And, you know, we've got one deputy that hangs with them. You know, we had a zero-turn mower that was down, and it was sitting there, and it cost a fortune to fix it, and the guy says, "You want me to fix that? Do you know how?" He says, "Yeah." He says, "This is where I worked, and this is what I did." And the guy fixed it for under $100. It was gonna cost us a whole lot more than that.
Wow.
You know, so, you know,
Good programs.
yeah, they are good programs.
Thank you, gentlemen, for
Thanks,
coming.
guys.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else, Michelle?
We're good. We're gonna recess till 11 o'clock for public comment. If there any public comment yet? No? Okay, we'll recess till 11.
Tony,
Yes, ma'am.
thank you for asking him to explain some of these things.
What I gotta do.
Councilmember
You
Ryan.
ready? Are we ready? We're gonna reconvene, Board of Commissioners. Is there any public comment?
Abe?
No? You don't want to say hi?
Say hi.
Say hi,
Yeah,
please.
come on
Come
up,
on up.
Adam.
And say hi, Adam.
And
tell us
state
where you're
your
from.
name And yeah.
Adam Gumpf, State Treasurer's Office, lifelong Portage County resident, currently live in Nightwater. It's a pleasure to be here. I will be of service to you in any way that I can through the Treasurer's Office, and if you guys need assistance with anything in matters of that, feel free to let me know. I think you all have my contact information. If not,
I was
give
going
it
to
you
ask for your card
afterwards.
again.
I was just gonna say, I was too.
Adam,
And
I
here's
have
our
your card in my
cards.
desk drawer.
Okay, look at that.
See that?
Buried under his stuff.
I think
Yeah, it's there somewhere.
Thanks.
Well, we appreciate you stopping.
Thanks for stopping and saying
Thanks
hi.
for having
Appreciate it. Okay.
Yeah, we appreciate
Have a
it.
great day, Adam.
We're privileged today. We've had 2 visitors.
Is there anything else to come before the board?
I just want to wish everyone a very happy Easter.
Oh, same
Happy
to
Easter.
you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Oh, and I will not be here next week.
Next Thursday? Okay, all right.
Yeah. Look at Tenlin. Don't worry. I'll be watching
I'm
you on
sorry.
camera.
I'm
Make
sorry.
you behave.
Yeah, that means I have to read, huh?
That means you have
Yes,
to
have
read.
you have to read. Bring
All
your
right, I'll
glasses.
make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes. Have a great weekend. Happy Easter, everybody.
First Easter with grandbaby.
Oh, this is, he's not getting big, but he's gained, I think he's
See you,
like
Brian.
15 pounds already.
Take care.
Little bugger.
Pleasure meeting
What?
both of you.
He started-